They told me not to play this game. Not in that urban legend, spooky campfire story kind of way. No, the warnings were different. Whispered, uneasy, like they were speaking of some thing real, something dangerous. Whenever it came up, people lowered their voices. Their eyes darted like just saying the name might invite it. You don't play the soul game, you survive it. They say it's older than our town. Older than the church that crumbles on the edge of the woods. Older than the river that runs black in winter. Nobody remembers where the story started, but everyone knows how it ends. Badly. See, the soul game isn't a challenge. It's not a meme. It's not some Bloody Mary sleepover dare. It's a ritual, a deal, a promise wrapped in shadows waiting for someone broken enough to say yes. I never thought I'd be that person. But belief is a funny thing. It doesn't matter until you're desperate. My mom had been sick for almost 2 years. Stage 4 cancer. It hollowed her out from the inside, turning the strongest woman I knew into a ghost in her own bed. I dropped out of college, sold my car, maxed out cards, friends stopped calling, hope turned into grief, then into obsession. There are limits to modern medicine. There are fewer limits when you stop caring about the cost. And that's when the story found me again. I remembered the whispers, the soul game. I thought about it for days, laughed it off, then Googled it at 3 a.m., then searched again. I found a thread buried in the archive of an old forum, the kind that had last been posted to in 2009. It was titled, "If You're Desperate Enough, Try This, but Don't Say I Didn't Warn You." The original poster claimed they'd played, claimed they survived. Most of the replies were gone, deleted or blacked out, but the instructions were still there. They were specific. The soul game. Instructions. Wait for a moonless night. Choose a room with no windows, no mirrors, and no light. At exactly 3:33 a.m., light a black candle. No substitutes, no tricks. Sit. Speak your deepest desire aloud. 3 times. Then you wait. If the game accepts your offering, you'll know. I printed it, memorized it, read it so many times, the words felt like they were burned into the back of my eyes. The night came, moonless, still. I turned off the power to the basement at the breaker, took my phone, but turned it off, just in case. No light, no sound, no mirrors. I had already taped a blanket over the one narrow window. I brought the candle. It wasn't from Amazon or some Halloween store. I found it in a tiny shop tucked between a pawnbroker and an abandoned laundromat. The store didn't have a name, just a faded sign in a language I couldn't read. The woman behind the counter didn't speak. She just smiled when I held up the candle. I went down the steps. My mom was asleep 2 floors above, wasting away. I sat in the center of the room, cold concrete under my legs. The air was thick, stale. Then I checked my watch. 3:32. I waited. My hands shook when I struck the match. The flame flared, then shrank into a hiss. I touched it to the candle's wick, and the black wax caught. A flicker of light. The shadows stretched long. I took a breath and whispered, "I want my mom to be healed." Again, "I want my mom to be healed." A third time louder, "I want my mom to be healed." Then I waited, and the silence that followed wasn't just quiet, it was wrong. The air stopped moving, my ears rang, then went numb. It was like being buried in cotton. No creaks from the house above, no hum from pipes or electronics. Even my own heartbeat felt distant, like it didn't belong to me anymore. And then I felt it. A shift. The pressure dropped, as if the house had been sucked into a vacuum. My chest tightened. I could smell something, like burnt wood and wet soil. Then came the knocking. 3 knocks. Slow, heavy, not from the door. From the wall? No, that wasn't right. I turned. In the far corner of the basement, a closet now stood. But it hadn't been there before. I swear to you, I cleaned that basement. I would have noticed a door. But now, there it was. Ancient, wooden, iron hinges. No knob, just There. And from inside it, knock, knock, knock. Something told me to run. Every muscle screamed to leave. But something deeper whispered, "Open it." So I did. Inside the closet sat a wooden chair. On it, a man, or something, pretending to be a man. He wore a black suit, wrinkled, old. His skin was gray-white like bleached parchment. His face was gaunt. His hair was slicked back, greasy. And his eyes, God, his eyes were black. Not dark, not brown. Black. No whites. No pupils. Just endless, glossy voids. He smiled and then he spoke. "I heard your wish." His voice didn't come from his mouth. It came from inside me. A chorus of whispers layered on top of each other. Like 10 people were speaking the same words from behind my skull. "Do you offer your soul?" I couldn't speak. He leaned forward, not moving his legs, just gliding. His breath smelled like mildew and rust. "You lit the candle. You opened the door. The game is played. The offer is implied." He raised one hand, thin, bony fingers, and then he snapped. The candle extinguished. Darkness swallowed everything. The door was gone. The chair was gone. He was gone. I was alone again. But I knew something had changed. The next morning, my mom woke up. Not groggy, not in pain. She stood, she smiled. By noon, she was laughing, walking, eating, talking like the last 2 years had never happened. The doctors were stunned. They scanned everything. Twice, 3 times. Every tumor was gone. Not just reduced, erased, as if they had never been there. They called it a miracle. But I knew better, because the game had been played and payment was coming. That night, I dreamed of him. He was sitting in the chair, but this time the chair was in my room. The second night, I heard footsteps, slow, pacing the hallway outside my door. The third night, the door opened, just a crack, enough for me to see what stood in the dark. It was me, same hair, same clothes, same face, but the eyes were his. Since then, he's gotten closer. First the hallway, then the foot of my bed, then next to me. I woke up with him leaning over, staring down, face inches from mine. And he whispered in that layered voice, "You gave it freely. The game was fair. I don't sleep anymore. I barely eat. I don't dream. I remember. He follows me, but not in the way ghosts do. He mimics me, mirrors me. Sometimes I see him in reflections when I'm not standing there. Sometimes my friends call and say they talk to me, but I wasn't with them. Sometimes I find dirt on my shoes when I haven't left the house. I'm slipping, losing time, blacking out, waking up in places I don't remember going. And worst of all, I think he's winning. He doesn't want to torment me. He wants to be me, replace me, take my life like he took my soul. And once he does, no one will know. My mom won't know. My friends won't know. Not even I will know, because I'll be gone. So please, if you ever hear about a game, a ritual, a wish granted for a price, one that starts with a black candle and a whisper at 3:33 a.m., don't play it, no matter how broken you are, no matter how much you want what it offers. Because some games don't just take your soul, they take your place. Thank you for listening to The Silent Scream. If this story left a mark on you, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a whisper in the dark. And remember, some games never end, some players never leave. And if you see yourself, don't trust the reflection. It might not be you anymore.